In this video, I'm going to share with you how to choose your gold mine area. That's exceptionally important, and I'm going to share with you the concept of having a spoke. So watch that and you'll be able to have more clarity on your gold mine area. And I'm also going to share with you how to find the right contractor, because that's exceptionally important, especially if you're going to be a developer. This is the third episode of getting started in property. In the previous episode, I covered funding and financing. So if you haven't seen that, check it out, watch it, you'll find it useful. And as always, if you like the content, click like, click subscribe so we can keep you up to date with all the content, and post your comments, good, bad, indifferent. Any questions you've got, share those. Anything you want me to cover in particular, share that as well. If you give me a handle on what you want, then I'll do my best to cover that for you. But in this episode, I am going to look at choosing a location and also choosing a contractor. So I think location's very big, and the first thing I would say is think about your gold mine area. So your gold mine area is a particular radius from either where you are or where you want to be. So I'll just use Peterborough as an example. I'm in Peterborough. My gold mine area is within 60 miles of Peterborough. I'm comfortable traveling there. It would take me around about an hour. I don't mind being in the car for an hour to drive there and obviously drive back. And then what you do is just get a map, draw a circle, and then as you start buying properties, you kind of draw a spoke here, there, everywhere, like a wheel. And that's where you focused your attention. Now, of course, choosing your gold mine area depends. Number one, I say, is how far are you willing to travel. So I don't really want to buy properties, let's just say, which are 2 hours away. They're too far away. Because I do developments, I've got to make regular visits there, or I like to make regular visits there. So if I'm traveling 2 hours once every couple of weeks, let's say, that's too much for me. And then obviously if they're that far away, once they're being rented out through an agent, if I want to go and have a look and just make sure the tenants are okay, or just have a look at the property, it's just too far for me to travel. I'm not going to go there. Now the flip side is some people like that because they want to be far away from it, so they don't pop their head round every now and then. That works well for them. If you're that type of person, then go as far as you like. But I've seen good stories where people have bought far away from where they live and it's worked well for them, and I've got horror stories where it's been a total car crash. So it's a mixed bag, but you choose what you want. But in terms of looking at your gold mine area, obviously things to consider are the market demand there, the prices. When I'm buying property, and the one that we're working on now, which is the New England Club, so there's quite a few videos in this particular page on the New England Club. I suggest you check it out. I said page, I didn't mean page, I meant channel. But I suggest you check out those videos. When we were buying that, there were certain things I was looking for. So one was its own car parking space. That's important. Another was I like to be near parks and green areas, because that is a good attraction for families, and we want to attract families because they are good tenants. So there's a park right opposite, so as soon as you come out the front door, there's a big park there because there's no houses opposite. That worked well. Bus routes, cycle routes, close to the train station. So the train station is, and I've walked it from there by the way, is about a 10 to 12 minute walk, if that, depending on how quick or slow you walk. That works well. There's quite a few schools nearby. There's a local high street, which is basically a 3 to 4 minute walk from there. There's places of worship, which are pretty much around the corner. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 different places of worship, or for 4 different faiths. So there's quite a bit there. So those are the things that I look out for, among other things, which encourage me to say, yeah, we should look at this particular deal seriously. Of course, the big thing obviously is, does the deal work? If the deal doesn't work, even if it's got all those amenities I've just shared with you, I'm not buying because the deal doesn't work. But once to make the deal work, these things form part of the calculation in my head at least. So I think you should be thinking about them very seriously, and obviously then looking at the end values too, because that's pretty important. Looking at what other developments are happening in the area or are due to happen, because that tells me a couple of things in terms of demand and supply, and also the confidence in that particular area. But also if there are other places on sale, I think if this works well, I could do other deals. I'd rather have 4 or 5 projects and properties in one particular area, so that when I'm there I can have a look at all of them and keep an eye on them, rather than having them scattered around. But with the spoke example I used with you earlier, you do end up traveling to different places. But like I said, once I'm there, I like to have more than one deal if I can. And of course, by having them all pretty close by, I can then use the same contractor. So if I were to do one deal in Peterborough and the next one in Liverpool, my contractor in Peterborough does not want to go to Liverpool. I've then got to find a new contractor near there, or somebody who's willing to travel, then start a new relationship. It's just too much upheaval, too much hard work. So keeping it all local works well for me in terms of my architect, my planning consultant, my contractors, my plumber, electrician. All of those are all close by, and it works very well for me. So I think you should be thinking about those things and thinking about what works well for you in terms of your Goldmine area. Moving on from that, then obviously if you're a developer or you're looking to do flips and you need a contractor, make sure number one, you work with somebody who comes highly recommended, and secondly, they've done those types of jobs before. They can show you those jobs. Ideally, if they're working on one right now, which they should be if they're good, because they'll be busy, they should be able to show you that development, because they'll be working on it, and it's likely nobody's living in that development, so you can see the quality of the work, look at their portfolio, get testimonials from them, speak to 1 or 2 of those people to find out how good they are, ask them for their methodology in terms of how they work, and why you should give them the job. Don't just find the cheapest contractor or the first one that you come across, because that area in terms of working with contractors is a pretty sticky area, and I've got more nightmare stories about that from clients and people I know than about any other part of property. So make sure you take your time and choose the right contractor who's got the right experience, who's going to work with you. And it's not just one particular deal. You want to make the first deal work and then carry on working with them. So the incentive for them is, this isn't just a one-trick pony. This basically is, we're going to carry on working together for quite a while. So I'm using the same contractor as I have done on the last 2 or 3 projects, and he'll carry on working with me as long as he does what he's supposed to do. I pay him on time, everything works fine. What's not to like? Why would I change contractors? I wouldn't. And the contractor wants regular, continuous work. As long as I can supply that, he's happy to work for me. So those are some of the real basic things that I've covered, because this whole series is geared towards those people who are looking to get started in property. So I hope that gives you a few indicators in terms of what you should be looking out for when choosing your location and also working with your contractor.